live recording right now. It is Friday, August 8th, sometime in the afternoon right now. I've been traveling all over. I don't know what time zone I'm dealing with right now. I'm getting used to Eastern time, Chase, and now I'm back in Mountain time. I'm in the Idaho in the summer right now, and it's awesome. I'm not going to lie. Not being in humidity is phenomenal right now in August.
I mean, it's pretty great. Is it making you want to move out there, or is it
Idaho, Utah? No, I'm staying in Carolina. I'm gonna be staying in Carolina. I just did the cross country move a month ago. That's why we haven't been recording lately. It's been a month. It's also dead. There's nothing to talk about. We did our interview with Justin. If you didn't check that out, make sure to go check that out. But it's been a minute, Chase.
It has been a minute, and like you said, we've just been hanging on to BYU's social posts, watching AJ get an insane vert. Some of this one-on-one stuff we're seeing AJ post on TikTok is getting me a little hot and heavy. But other than that, man, I mean, you couldn't really be further away. But actually, it's sneaking up. It's sneaking up here, Karter.
Yeah, because if BYU football is disappointing early on, let's say, because they have 3 easy non-con games, and let's say they slip up in one of those, like ECU or something, everyone's going to be hungry for basketball talk at that point. I think everyone's going to be begging for basketball season.
Everyone already is. And look, the Rock thing, I don't know if you heard about it. I'm sure people listening to this have heard. It's always drama. And now that we're not students, I care a lot less. But sold out in an hour, Karter. A lot of people didn't get them. And I think I think football's awesome, and I think they're due for another pretty good year. That's basketball. That's the AJ effect. That's the recruiting, Kevin Young, all of that. That is basketball. Having number 1 recruit is why you sell out season tickets to students in an hour, and season tickets generally to the public in, I think, a day or two. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I cannot wait. And then, so playing for today, we're going to hit some news and notes because it's been a minute and we got some things to touch on and talk about. And then maybe we'll tease a little something. It's going to be a shorter pod because we got some big stuff coming up in the works. So had to get one out before. Got some big stuff in the works. Just stay tuned. Just letting you know. Anyhow, let's start off here. BYU gets a 4-star recruit, Dean Rueckert. Nobody knows the last name, apparently. I have been told Rueckert. We've been told 5 other last names as well. And but let's go with Rueckert. Shout out Big Dean. Commit 6'8", 4-star forward from Timview High School. You watch the tape and everything. Look, first things first, you got to get the LDS recruits. Secondly, you want a player comp. This is going to make people excited. I think he's a little more polished Richie Saunders coming out of high school. Richie was very raw. There was a lot of development that had to be done with Richie. Scrappy, glue guy, all that. He kind of has a similar style and game to Richie, and it helps he's also, a blonde kid from Utah.
It does help with the comparisons. Let's touch on the first thing you said there. It's just big. Before we talk about Dean, because he's a great player, it's big to win LDS recruits, number 1. And number 2, the state of Utah, getting the biggest kid in the class is always a massive win. I think it just goes to show the progress the program's made. I feel like we see this every podcast, but it's been a while. I just don't think BYU lands these types of guys in the past. I think that they, I think when Colin Chandler committed, a few years ago, that was a really big deal. And that was maybe the biggest deal in BYU basketball recruiting up until that point. We're in a bit of a different era now, but it doesn't mean you can start to look over your local talent. Timview, obviously, right down the road. Dean's grown up there and played there for a long time, been an awesome, awesome player. And so being able to be there, still be present for someone like that is huge. And it's going to be good for him to be in Provo now, playing basketball, developing there, as opposed to just forgetting about these local guys, because it comes with a bit of camaraderie. It comes with a bit of hometown pride. And it comes with, these players that we really grow to love and endear, stay for a few years. Obviously, that's going to change with the landscape of college basketball and the quality of recruits that are happening. But it's something special about seeing Richie Saunders, stay for these many years and get better and better and better every year, and knowing he's a local guy, right, from Riverton, and that we can almost feel like we relate to him and know him, even though we don't at all. But it's just big for BYU basketball to still stay present in the moment. I think a lot of people are starting to talk about all this money that they're throwing at people and have they kind of lost their identity, their way? Are they selling out? I don't think it's true. I think this proves it, that even local guys especially really talented ones, right, still want to be here and play here.
Yeah, and also you talk about like, oh, BYU's throwing money around and all this stuff. First off, every single fan base in this sport wishes their team would throw money around and actually go after recruits and had the ability to go after recruits like that. And then the other thing is, oh, has BYU lost their way a little bit? It's like, well, no, they're just getting better. And BYU hasn't been nationally relevant year to year basically ever. You have these little, moments in the sun with Jimmer and Danny Ainge and different times, but now it is consistent year to year with Kevin Young and the recruitment and the whole staff behind them. And now the type of players you're bringing in, this team's going nowhere. And then you build that foundation with still bringing in those guys like Rueckert, and you're going to bring in more LDS talent, I'm assuming, as well over the years. And so I just think it's perfect. It's a perfect marriage for what they need. Now, when a 4-star recruit comes in like this, I think it's weird now, because I think BYU fans are used to, okay, like 4-star, that's a big deal coming in. Like you almost cross your mind, like, okay, is he a one and done type guy? Maybe. Like, no, these 4-star guys are 4-year dudes, 3-4-year dudes.
Yeah, it's completely changed the way we look at them, and they're not, year one starters.
Yep.
I think that's fair to say. Even like someone like Chamberlain Burgess, another local LDS kid who decided to commit, going on a mission, so we won't see him for a couple of years. You won't see them starting day one. Whereas when Colin Chandler commits, you're expecting him to be the savior of this team day one. This you're going to see, more like a Brody Kozlowski thing, where it's like, all right, bench him, see what he can, see
maybe red
practice.
Shirt.
Next season, maybe red shirt. Next season, let's see where he's at, where he can play on this team. And then maybe the third year is when he finally starts to become a big piece. That's not going to be the case for all of them. And we're not trying to predict, obviously, Dean or Chamberlain's or any of these guys' careers. But that's just what 4-stars are going to be doing now at BYU, because you look at the starting 5 and even the 7, 8, 9 deep, and you start to wonder, where could we even fit someone like this on this team? It's just so loaded now.
Exactly. And that kind of leads me to the next segment I wanted to talk about. But last thing on Dean, I do really like his game. He's got a little, not like FU to his game. He's got a little something to his game where like he doesn't back down necessarily. And you talk to people at BYU and they definitely feel the same way. You watch the film, it comes across in the film as well. And he's got a great jumper. I think he's gonna be a great player at BYU. And it might be till year 2. Who knows? But I'm excited. And going to the next segment, BYU gets Aleksej Kostic. I don't know much about this player. I have not been told much. I have not asked around inside the team or anything. So, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of inside info to give people on this one. But I have watched the film, and I like him. I don't know how. My thing is, like, I like all these dudes is the issue. I like Brody Kozlowski. I like Tyler Marusser. All these different guys they're bringing in. At some point, someone can't play. Like, someone's got to be hitting the bench at this point, and someone's going to have to redshirt. Like, I understand let's just get as many players in the building and let's make it happen. It ended up working out last year, but man, you're dancing with the devil a little bit when you're bringing in so many talented dudes, because man, one bad egg in this group and then things could go a little south right there. And so that's one thing I do get a little nervous about. Now you do have an elite head coach in Kevin Young who can, I think, maintain the locker room. And I don't think that's a huge concern, but it is something to put in the tickler file of, okay, like there are maybe too many guys on this team.
Yeah, I think something that Kevin Young does really well, and this is more of just observation. I obviously haven't talked to a lot of people that know a lot, but it's easy for someone with a really high star rating or a good recruit, right, to come in and feel like they are owed something, have a little bit of they feel obligated to play or to be put in certain positions or whatever. I think what Kevin Young does and what people appreciate about him, especially these recruits, why they commit to him, is that he's very real with them. And he's been in this NBA locker room where nothing's given, right, in the NBA. And, you haven't earned a thing in the NBA. And he's played with all-stars, Hall of Fame, coached all-stars and Hall of Famers who have earned their way, right? And just to explain to these guys, like, look, this is a competitive team. Practices are competitive. We're super talented. We're trying to win as a team. We want you to be a part of it, but it may require sacrifices on your part. I think that's a super underrated part. because to your point, Carter, one bad attitude, one bad like, oh, it should be me, blah blah blah, can really poison a locker room, and we've heard that from guys that we've interviewed who are a little bit more than us, and so you gotta find a way to balance it. And so with all this talent, definitely comes in, because you think about, especially with Aleksej coming in, if he's even going to be able to play, because you just look at, like, you have Richie Saunders starting, and you have Dawson Baker, and behind him you have guys like Tyler Ross. He's a combo guard, 6'4", likes to shoot the ball. Maybe he can play point guard. Maybe that'll be a thing. But at the end of the day, it's about being a team, right? And I think Kevin Young's figured out a way to have everyone buy in. Obviously, it's been one season. This last season, he definitely did, and we saw that with how many different roster moves were made and how many lineups. This season, more talented than ever. It's going to be another challenge for sure.
I'd love to get into a practice this offseason, because, I mean, just think about how competitive it's going to be, because you have multiple legit guys who could start on a lot of Power 5 teams this year on this roster, and they're all competing for limited playing time on this roster. And you're going against, I mean, Richie Saunders, Rob Wright, even Keba Keita, AJ DeVance. Like, you're going against the starting 5 is solidified, and after that, it's very limited minutes after that. And the backup minutes are going to be so interesting, how it's laid out, how it's played out, because the other thing going into this season is there's not a ton of time like they had last year where you can experience nonstop in the non-con, because BYU didn't really play anybody last year. And this year, hey, exhibitions, luckily they're exhibitions. That's when you can really want to experiment and whatnot. But then, hey, week 2, yeah, UConn and Boston. You got to know your team.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to walk away with a win, which I know that they do, I know that's what they're focused on, right? It's not just a showcase like their cars. They're there to do a job and to win a game. So yeah, you need to figure out lineups. And Carter, I mean, I'd put the number of different lineups we see really high, because based on Kevin Young's track record and based on, like we're saying, all the talent on this team, I mean, man, I trust like 12 guys deep to play legit college minutes on this roster, maybe even more guys than that. It's crazy. And to think of where they would be if they played on BYU 5 years ago, and how they might be the best player on the team now to getting 5 minutes a game it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
100%. And then I also think, like, you think Justin Young's like he's almost doing the OKC where it's like, I'm just going to keep bringing these 6'8" dudes in and that can shoot, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just like, I'm going to pull the Sam Presti where I'm just going to keep bringing in dudes, and yeah, one of them will pan out.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're Sam Presti, you're like, we got to, I hate to move on from Poku, but it's just we've just
who's the BYU Poku in this situation?
I'm not gonna say who that is. But
I think we both know the answer.
Yeah. Well, you look at some guys that, screw it, I'll say it. Look at someone like Karter and Chase. Very exciting, obviously very big.
That was not my answer.
I wasn't saying he's my answer. I'm not saying he's the Poku of BYU basketball. I'm just saying this is where we're at in BYU basketball now. Someone like Karter and Chase, very talented, had some awesome games, went perfect 8 for 8 at that Baylor game, was a huge part of that overtime win. Incredible guy. And it just came to the point where it's like, look, this isn't what he wants, and BYU's, they want maybe different things. And so, look, you just have to move on. And a few years ago, that would have been a devastating loss. It would have been like the biggest in BYU history. And it was obviously sad to lose him, but I think both parties, him and the BYU program, are better off because of it. And BYU was able to fill in with guys that they feel like fit their program better. Keanu was able to find a different home. And so that's where we're at now, and the difference here. And we may see that in the future. We're definitely going to see that in the future with a lot of guys
100%.
That talent.
That's kind of my thing, is like, when you have this amount of talented guys on a team, look, a couple of guys just aren't going to play next season when it's all said and done. And they're not, and that's just how basketball works. When you're on a loaded team, you're just not going to play, and they're going to go transfer and go to another team. That's just college basketball now. It's like with Karter and Chase, like, it's a no hard feelings thing. Like, yeah, it sucks it didn't work out here, but I really appreciate the time you had. There were some great moments, but look, it wasn't good for either party. And I think we end up seeing the same at the end of the season. And that's every college program at this point. We're not breaking news here.
Right. And I don't want to get twisted. I feel like we're just talking about the negatives. It's not a bad thing, man, this season to have so much talent, because this team is going to be so stacked, and to the point where, like, hey, look, it's not working out with this guy in the starting lineup, or it's not working out with this guy as the sixth man. We're going to go somewhere else. Look at the Moet Mag case. We talked about him 100 times. That is what is going to be the huge luxury for this BYU basketball team. And that's why they've recruited. That's why Justin Young's like, are you 6'8" and you can shoot? You're super athletic? Yes, please come over here. It's going to be, you're going to have backups on backups with the actual definition of a backup just in case. With injuries too. I mean, like, BYU was super healthy last season. And you never know, especially in basketball these days, what can happen. Having that luxury is huge.
That was going to be my next point, and Justin even talked to us about it. Like, we were really, like, BYU was really fortunate with injuries last season. Like, didn't have any really major injuries, and this year they're set up for that too. And I think that's the other huge bonus of having a loaded team like this, and you're super deep and everything, because that stuff is going to happen at some point, and you got to have guys who can fill in. And so I'm not worried about this BYU team at all, even if some guys go down for a game or two. I'm not that concerned, to be honest. I'm so high on this BYU team. It is interesting. I mean, even the folks here at the Field of 68 and then all these other outlets talking about BYU going into this season, the hype train is just beginning, because right now it's college football season. You're getting all the college football propaganda. And then once it starts, I really want to see who, like, the big-time national guy is that's going to pick BYU as, like, they're my best team in the country. They're the national champion. I could see Dickie V being that guy. Dickie V,
yeah, he loves to get caught up in maybe, like, the emotion of it all and the hype. And BYU's got tons of it, right? I mean, you have the best player in college basketball, supposedly. We'll see. And bringing guys back and getting Rob Wright. I mean, I'm not a big media guy, but I'll pick him, Karter. I'll say they're number one. Does that count? I'm the first guy. Nah.
Yeah, someday. That counts. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we're big J's. We can do whatever we want.
Anyhow. We have no rules. We're not living in Utah anymore. Just kidding.
Any other BYU news though? It's still slow right now.
The social content's awesome. Like I said, I love watching that stuff. Man, I just want to watch them play. I'd kill to be in practice.
I know everyone saw the Rothstein's tweet. I've texted with a couple people as well, but I mean, it's just nonstop positive propaganda talking about Moo Davis. And that is every time I've talked to people that are in the know with what's going on, it's just Moo Davis this, Moo Davis that. And obviously you hear, like, yeah, AJ's great, Rob Wright great. Like, you know that's going to happen, but yes, it's a lot of positive Moo Davis propaganda coming out of Provo right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of credence to Rothstein's tweet.
I'm buying into it. I'm eating that propaganda up because based on everything we've heard and then the very little that we've seen, he just fits perfectly in this team. I mean, every dude, we could talk about every single guy on this roster, Karter, and be like, man, I just love the way he fits.
Yep.
Like, I think I can tell from what you can take, but like lots of social posts with those guys. It looks like they're bonding, having fun. Nate Pickens TikTok, Rob Wright TikTok, AJ TikTok, great content. A lot of it's just there in the annex. They're hooping. I think they're getting to know each other. I think AJ and Xavier coming in the earlier this year was very underrated. I think we've mentioned it before, but a big part of basketball is trusting your guys' camaraderie and the dudes on the team. And I think they're off to a good start. Obviously, a lot of new pieces coming in, but they look like they're having fun already.
Yeah, I cannot wait. We need to get into a practice. We might need to make some calls, but we do have some big stuff. What? We'll see. Stay tuned. But we do have some
calls.
Just say we got some big stuff in the works. Very, very excited about it. We'll be back consistently now. We have some stuff cooking. We'll announce it on social media here in the next week or so. Stay tuned for that. Make sure to follow at Church Ball Pod on everything. Make sure to check out Field of 68 podcasts all over and whatnot. College football fans, sports fan, go check out Karter Cast. I did the Big 12 preview. BYU fans,
don't listen to that crap, BYU fans. Don't go listen to that. Don't. Well, your opinion on Karter will change.
What do you mean?
I don't want to be tainted.
Am I not allowed to call it like I see it?
No, you are. I'm just saying for the sake.
Am I
of
not
our,
allowed
our
to say?
fan
I think.
base,
Am I not allowed to say that BYU? I think BYU is the best bet in the Big 12, where I think they're going to win over 6.5 games.
Yeah, I'm not going to say what else that you said because the people can go listen to them, for themselves. But I would encourage y'all not to listen to that podcast. I'm just kidding. Of course, go listen to CarterCast, but don't judge Carter too harshly. All right, he's just calling it like he sees it. Just know he still is dedicated to BYU hoops.
What? Look. I like BYU football. Don't get me wrong. I root for BYU football. I went to school there, but guess what? I think they got some competition in the state. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of New Mexico football late nights last year.
People,
no one for let's not forget New Mexico, Arizona.
It was. You gotta understand our demographic here. What are you saying?
What are you talking about?
Like this is. Do you know who's listening to this right now? They don't want to hear that.
Yes, I understand that, but but I'm not going to pretend I didn't say that Utah was going to win the Big 12 in that podcast.
Oh, there it is. Now you don't have to listen to it. There it goes.
Yeah, no, or you can go hate watch it. By all means, you'll find a lot more reasons. But anyhow,
of course, listen to CarterCast, guys. I'm just messing.
Subscribe to Church Ball. This is going to be the best season ever. Cannot wait. So excited to cover some games and do the live reactions and everything. And make sure to follow, and we'll see y'all next time. Adios.